It's the Andy and Dave Daily right here on the Muskegon Channel. Andy O'Reilly and Dave Cackley. And yes, he's going to drink his Propel Vitamin Water, which is his superpower drink, because today's his big workout day. Yep, you're going to be here. You're going to be doing your workout with Becky Bisciotti from Fit and Healthy with Becky on the Muskegon Channel. A little cross-promotion of our channels, if you will, some of our programming on the Muskegon Channel, and you're going to be in for it.
It's going to be 4 minutes of hell, but I think I can make my way through it.
Hey, you know who I saw last night?
Ooh.
I saw the tall weather guy, Aaron.
Jewish guy?
I saw Aaron, and I saw Elena, and I saw
George? Was George out there?
No, George didn't make it out. He had to stay back at
Laura Hartman
there for the storms coming in. But
Laura Hartman.
Laura Hartman, yeah, they were all out here at the Muskegon Mire on Norton, and they were doing the weather radio thing, and we popped in on them and did a little Facebook Live thing, and it was a nice time.
Oh, cool. Oh, by the way, I kind of lied there. I knew who you saw because Aaron Ossier mentioned to me that you did like 2 Facebook Live videos with him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I was trying to pretend like I didn't know, and then I realized.
Well, thank you. That was nice. Yeah, it was good.
I felt bad about lying.
Oh, well, then you should say 10 Hail Marys and 2 Our Fathers on your way out here today. Do a prayer novena. It was actually the one video, the one on the Positively Muskegon Facebook Live thing. That's like seen 1,700 times.
Nice. He's a popular
guy. Watch
guy.
my crap still. I can't. It's like, whoa, you guys are still watching this nonsense. All right, well, good for you. Thank you.
Cool.
So it was nice, and it was good to see those guys. Nice to have them out in Muskegon, and thank them for coming out and being good sports.
Very nice.
Yes.
All
Elena
right.
was telling me that she's a newlywed now. She's been married 6 months, and they're in the process of nesting.
Yeah, she brought that up to me the other day, that she's nesting.
Yeah, and she said, we're doing things like putting in paving stones around the house. And I said, whose idea is that? She goes, oh, it's both of ours. And I went, no, it's not.
No, it's not. It's yours. He doesn't want anything to do with that.
That putting in paving stones is a good idea. Trust me, kid. I know what I'm talking about here. I'm a few more years down the road than you are, and
we don't like extra chores. Oh.
You're establishing the pecking order, and he is now henpecked. That's
right.
How it works.
Absolutely. You all right? You gonna be okay? You want some Propel?
A little tickle in my throat there.
All
you
right.
know what it was?
What?
My wonderful air conditioning kicking in.
Oh, recirculating that air. Nice.
Yeah. No, I'm fine. It's good.
Okay, good.
I did that cough for effect. Thank you.
Oh, nice. Well, it was great.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I was almost concerned.
All right, what do we got news-wise?
Well, a gunman believed to be a supporter of former Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders opened fire at a GOP baseball practice Wednesday morning, injuring Republican House Majority Whip Steve Scalise and 4 others. Scalise was listed in critical condition but had surgery and is now listed in stable condition. The shooter, 66-year-old James T. Hodgkinson, died after being shot by police. According to Bernie Sanders, Hodgkinson was apparently a volunteer on Sanders' 2016 presidential campaign. Now, the really scary thing about this is if Scalise wasn't there, this would have been a massacre, because that's the only reason that there was protection. There were some officers on scene because the majority whip is provided with some protection when he goes out in public. And had he not been at that practice, a lot of people would have been gunned down. This is amazing.
You know, and I want to bring this back just a little, because I put an opinion out about this last night on Facebook. This is what happens when this guy's a terrorist, and I don't care who he supports. I don't care what side of the fence he's on. I don't care if he's a Democrat, Republican, right, left, whatever. This is a terrorist, flat out.
Right.
This is a terrorist move. He has been polluted with ideology of one sort or another, and he acted on it. That's what terrorism does, and that's how terrorists are built. And this is what, and I told you last week, this stuff's going to start happening here because people are getting brainwashed by both sides of the fence, and they're twisted particular, even if they're not preaching the extremism that some other parts of the world preach to people, people are getting brainwashed by all this kind of stuff, and this crap is going to keep going on and on and on and on, and it's time for everybody to cool it. It is time to settle down. It is time to catch your breath. Dude, this is just it, and it ain't going to slow down anytime soon.
And you're right about this not being a right-left thing. I'm sure there are going to be some people coming out and saying, well, we need more gun regulations now, which is
stupid.
Which is the knee-jerk reaction.
Of course.
But ever since the election, the kind of bile-filled hatred for Trump, whether you like him, whether you agree with him, disagree with him, that's beside the point.
It's not since the election. It started well before.
Well, before that, but it's really gotten ratcheted up since November, January. It's gotten to a head, and this happened. I don't like blaming the verbiage, the fact that everybody's arguing back and forth and everybody's passionate. This is one crazy guy doing a crazy thing. I don't think that this is necessarily an epidemic of people, that now people are just going to go nuts and start shooting. This is going to become an ongoing thing. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen.
It's already an ongoing thing.
Oh, okay, this hasn't happened.
This is already an ongoing. Look how many mass shootings we've had over the last 5 years, 10 years. This is an ongoing problem, and if you don't see it, you're nuts.
No, I'm not.
You really are. I mean,
I think
we are being pushed over the edge, and we are stooping to the level of the rest of the friggin' lunatic world. And people need to reel it back in. We need to come back to the middle a little bit in this country, and we need to get to the point where, even if you disagree with somebody, just disagree. Okay, great.
Right.
Neither one of you's right. Neither one of you's wrong. It's this whole polarization of discussion. It's this entire idea that I'm right. That's the only way to think. That's the problem. It's the polarization and the fact. Here's the other big thing. You got these people that are watching their branded newscasts, okay? Mm-hmm. Everything has got to have a slant. Everything has got to have a direction. Everything has got to have a pinpoint. What's the word?
Bias.
Bias. Yeah, the bias. Everything's got to have a bias. Well, you know what? There are people out there, and God love people. I love them all. You've seen me. I'll hug just about anybody except you because, you're kind of creepy. I love people. I really do. Mm-hmm. But a lot of them aren't that bright. And when they start hearing this bias and they start hearing this angle and they start hearing this never-ending message of this is the way to think, this is the way to think, this is the way to think, they go off the deep end. And this kind of crap happens. And
news organizations have kind of followed this and been a major part of this. Now, a lot of people would blame Fox News on the right, but you could just as easily blame CNN, MSNBC on the left, that they've kind of started catering their news programming towards a specific demographic, whether it's right or left.
Because
that's the way they've gone. And exactly. It's a business like anything else. And if you want to... it's one of those things. You got to force yourself to listen to people you don't agree with. You got to force yourself to listen to commentators that you don't agree with. You need to, if you're going to watch this stuff, you cannot just watch one side. You got to listen and watch both. Otherwise, you're not getting the complete picture.
I want to tell you where you're wrong, though. News is not a business like everything else.
It is now.
It can't be.
But we can't
really
go back.
It cannot be a business like everything else.
We can't go back, though, and this is where it is.
There needs to be neutrality in it. It can't be a business like everything else.
Well, a lot of people would say, and by a lot of people, I mean a lot of people on the right would say that it hasn't been neutral going back to the 50s and 60s, going back to Walter Cronkite. Walter Cronkite was accused of being a leftist. Whether that's accurate or not, I don't know. I wasn't following the news then, but back in the day you had three networks that people on the right said were all skewed to the left. And now you've got people that Fox News is all skewed to the right, and then you've got these other organizations that go left and are now more open about it. So I don't know, but you can't all of a sudden say, well, you can't be a business anymore. That's what they are.
You can't be a business, but what I'm simply saying is that you can't the news is not like any other business. It's not. and it can't be.
Well, it's not like, when they cover natural disasters, they're all pretty much, it's just you're reporting facts. But when you're dealing with politics and political opinion, it's going to skew right or left. It's going to, because journalists have their own personal biases. Whether you're to the right or to the left, you have your own mindset that's not inherently objective. It's just not.
That's your job, though, as a journalist.
Yeah, that's you could say a lot of people aren't doing their job.
Speaking of journalists, did you do your journalistic homework last night?
No, I completely forgot the guy's name you brought up.
Way to
so
go.
I did. I was going to go back and listen to the podcast, and then I got sidetracked on some other stuff.
Journalistic integrity right there from Dave Cackley. Way to go.
But you don't even remember the name of the guy whose name I forgot. Gary Owens?
Gary Owens.
Gary Owens. Okay, still don't know who that is. I'll check, and then maybe tomorrow I'll have an answer for you.
God.
You are very touchy today. You're a little touchy.
I'm pointing out some of your weak spots. I'm trying to make you a better person.
But you mentioned that before we started the podcast off air, and then I've kind of made a conscious decision to do all the things that you accused me of doing.
Of course you did.
Yeah, of course. It's just kind of fun to tweak you occasionally. Rolling Stone is paying a University of Virginia fraternity $1.65 million to close the door on its debunked story on campus rape. 2014's A Rape on Campus was a bombshell when first published, but fell apart when police couldn't find any evidence to support the allegations of a gang rape at the Pi Kappa Psi fraternity. The author also never spoke to the men identified as the attackers. A Columbia Journalism School review also said the magazine failed to adhere to the basic principles of journalism. Now, this is Rolling Stone. Journalistic principles when it comes to Rolling Stone.
I think, and I hate to say it, because at one point it was pretty cool, but Rolling Stone's got no relevance at all anymore.
No, it's completely irrelevant, and they try to get relevant by having their reporters doing things that they're not really equipped to do.
Yeah,
this is not a story that Rolling Stone should be tackling.
Not at all.
Tell
me about the Foo Fighters. Good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
And in all honesty, I'd love to read a story about the Foo Fighters. I love the Foo Fighters. I think they're awesome.
Right.
Tell me about the Foo Fighters. I'll buy a copy.
Or I'll just read it for free online.
I won't even do that. I'd buy a copy about the Foo Fighters,
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm listening to Anne Murray. I don't like the Foo Fighters.
Hey, she's a Canadian musical genius. A West Michigan lawmaker is backing a package of bills that would raise the smoking age to 21 in the state. Republican Tommy Brand of Wyoming said the bills are about improving the health of the state. He claims the bills would limit the number of underage teens who get their hands on tobacco and ultimately save lives. We got to figure out.
Don't get me wrong. I've known the family forever. I really have. Mm-hmm. But they won't stop kids from smoking. Kids want to smoke, they're going to smoke.
Yeah. And we gotta figure out if you're an adult at 18 or 21. We got to stop this back and forth. You can drink at 18. No, wait. You can't. It's 21. You can smoke at 18. No, you can't. Now it's 21. Yeah. You can't rent a car until you're 25. Let's figure this out. Let's decide. Let's make an age and decide, okay, you're an adult here. Let's make it 20. Let's just say once you're out of your teens, you're an adult.
I'm 47. I don't really care.
Long since passed.
But I think 21's a good age. I think 21's fair.
Yeah.
And even now, at our somewhat advanced age, I look at 21-year-olds and I go, "Are you kidding me? You're 21."
You have no idea. You have no concept of anything.
Way, but I look at a 21-year-old now and I'm like, "Oh my God, where's your diapers?"
It's so many of them are so unhappy. It's like, what do you got to be pissed off about? You're in your 20s. If you're upset now, if you're angry now, if you're sad or depressed now, enjoy the rest of your existence.
You know what's been kind of funny?
It'd be a sad life.
It's been kind of funny. It's been kind of funny to watch time go by because in my 20s, I was pretty happy-go-lucky. Of course, I was drunk, like the whole time. Yeah.
The entire decade plus.
My 30s, okay, because 30, I almost shot myself. I wasn't very happy. All right. 30th birthday, boom, I was like that close. 30s, then 33, I sobered up, and it was really pretty happy. And then I got to my mid-40s, and you come to a realization in your mid-40s, and that realization is, wow, hey, Dad, I understand why you were a dick when you were 45.
Yeah.
I get it. Sorry about that, Dad. I wish I wouldn't have been such a pain in your ass in my 20s when you were 45. And
go ahead and slap me in the back of the head again. So go ahead and slap me in the back of the head again.
Dad, just for good times. So I'm waiting to see what 50 brings. Give me a couple more years, I'll get back to you.
Finally, Uber, the app-based ride service, has announced it will begin operations along Michigan's Lakeshore this weekend. Customers in Muskegon, Grand Haven, Holland, and Saugatuck, as well as South Haven, will be able to hail local drivers beginning on Friday. To celebrate the launch, Uber is offering new users one free ride worth up to $15. Enter Lake MI17 into the app to redeem the offer. That's between 1 o'clock Friday afternoon and October 1st. So there you go. You get to Uber. You got a lot of great things to see in Muskegon and these surrounding areas.
You ever taken Uber?
Yes, I have.
We have to.
Uber's
we took
good.
Uber in Vegas a few times. Great way to get around.
Great. Fantastic. If you're looking to make some extra cash.
I thought about doing that for a while.
I thought you would be perfect.
I thought about it, but there's no time for it now. But when I was thinking about it, they only offered it in Grand Rapids, and it's like, I'm not driving all the way over there to do that. But it's a good way to get around. My only thing is that you just don't know who you're picking up when you.
That's true. But still, it's a great. Let's face it, the cab service is done. With Uber, you got Lyft, you got these other. It's
I've
done.
taken a cab out here before. If my car's in the shop, and I've taken a cab.
I mean,
not my first choice, but I've done it.
Right. Uber just seems cleaner, safer.
Well, you know what I need to learn how to do better? I need to learn how to ride the bus. I do. I really do. I mean, people need to learn how to do public transportation.